We're here. We've made it. The day I've dreamed of my entire life with my dream man. It's hard to believe I've spent the last 5 years loving you and the last 15 months planning for this exact day. All of the stress during the wedding planning has led us here, and it was all worth it. The man in the Amish hat and neon green soccer jersey is going to be my husband in just a few short hours. I can't imagine where I would be without you, and I can't wait to spend forever with you. Love, Ashley.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Oh, thank you. So, I saw on a TikTok where a maid of honor introduced the most important people in the room, and I wanted to start off by doing the same. The bartenders. Thank God they're here. Without them, I'd probably black out from public speaking anxiety, but thankfully they're here so I can blame it on the alcohol. Know what I'm saying? All right, just kidding, for real. Okay. So, for those of you who do not know me, my name is Mikhail, and I'm this beautiful bride's best friend. Ashley and I do not go way back. In fact, our friendship began about 1.5 years ago when she decided to give me a chance. You see, when Ashley first saw me, her thoughts were, that girl thinks she's all that in a bag of chips. Later, she realized I totally am. Anyway, as soon as we had our first days of work together, it was basically an instant connection. We would finish each other's songs, singing together all day long, to the point where now we finish each other's sentences or say the same thing at the same time. Ashley and I talked so much, we had to convert to voice texting. The best part about these voice messages, though, are when Brian thinks that she's talking to him and his responses don't make any sense because he wasn't actually listening to her when she was speaking. The proof is in the messages, Brian. We know. You are not listening when she's talking. Anyway, Ashley, to my point, you're the best friend that I've been missing for a while. The best girlfriend I can be my complete self around without judgment. You're my ride or die. We have each other's back for life, whether we're attempting to twerk up the walls at work or we're painting the nursery for baby Gabe's arrival. I wouldn't laugh as much as I do without you, and I'm so grateful for our friendship. You've got me for anything. Brian, as I watch from the outside of your and Ashley's relationship, you're exactly what I want for her and a husband. Someone who is a teammate for life, who lifts her up when she's down, who loves her unconditionally even when she's doing some weird shit. And let's be honest, she does do some weird shit, okay? But you wear pennies, so like it balances out, okay? Like, come on, pennies, why? You step up, you take care of her, you step up to be the best father to Aaliyah and Gabe, and she can count on you and trust you. It's definitely you. Today, you're no longer my BFF, you're my BFH. Best friend's husband. With all that being said, I love you both so much, and I wish you nothing but everlasting love and happiness as you go through this journey of life together. Woo! I'm ready to get this party started. I love you.
My beautiful wife. I can't do it.
Today has been a wonderful day so far, a day Ashley has dreamed of since the day I first met her. As most of you know, I'm Alex, one of Ashley's best friends. A few weeks ago, Ashley asked me if I'm nervous and basically has asked me every day since if I'm nervous to give this speech. My immediate response was absolutely not. I cannot wait to embarrass you. To start off, I wore my favorite boots for you just because I know you absolutely love them. I'm the type of person that just doesn't give a crap. We are here to have a great life, and I know Ashley is the same way. I had this whole slideshow planned for my speech today, but I'm pretty sure my death list was almost maxed out, so I saved that PowerPoint for another time. Ashley, you're my best friend. I know we don't get to spend as much time together like we used to, and we don't talk for hours on the phone like we did back when we were both single, but we both mutually understand when one of us needs each other, we're always there. We have gotten in so much trouble together, needing to be bailed out quite a few times. My favorite being the night our broke, entitled selves went to the bar not realizing they had a minimum for credit cards. And your mom had to bring us cash. Besides going out and finding trouble, thankfully only a few tickets were the worst of our problems. We had great times together. The best nights being ice cream dates with Aaliyah, jamming out in the car and playing chase at your mom's house, almost bashing her head off the walls a couple times. But no child was hurt in those memories. As you can see, we've all made it here today. Us three had become inseparable, spending every waking minute together. It also helped that we lived 8 minutes from each other. Then I moved to Albany, worried I wouldn't make any friends like Ashley and she'd probably forget about me, but instead I'd get weekly calls saying so-and-so pissed me off, I'm coming to visit you. We'd never do much besides get tattoos, because who does that? Let's admit, they definitely messed yours up, but we still have them to this day. Besides visits, we'd be on the phone for hours on end, usually talking about how some chick looked at you and I've never hated a bitch so much that I didn't know. We also discussed how you wanted the perfect man that loved you and loved Aaliyah like his own. And that's where Brian comes in. P.S. Brian, I was a little bit sketchy at first. And then I received a text one day, and it was an image of Aaliyah sitting on Brian's lap, smiling from ear to ear. And I knew he was literally the most perfect person for her. He puts up with her mood swings, her craziness, when she's hangry, and he's the person I've always sided with and blamed Ashley for any arguments they ever got into. He was literally everything she's ever wanted. Brian, I couldn't have asked for a better person to step into their lives. Not only have you made Ashley happy, it makes me happy knowing she's in the best hands. You're a great man to Ashley and an awesome dad to Gabe and Aaliyah. But at this time, the only time I ever saw her was when I came back from Syracuse, or when she sent me pooper selfies while she was dropping a deuce at work. But that's okay, because I know whatever she's doing, she's always happy and enjoying the life she imagined with the man of her dreams. I never figured out the end of this speech, and that's because it's in your guys' hands now, and the beginning of my favorite couple's future together. I hope this magical day is everything you had hoped for, because now it's time for you to write the rest of this beautiful story together as a family. Cheers to the happy newlyweds, Brian and Ashley. May you love each other more every day. And everyone, please, let's all raise our glasses and toast to a life full of love, laughter, and happily ever after.
I am the best. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the newlyweds, I would like to thank everyone for attending their amazing celebration. My name is Andy, and it's truly an honor to be here as Brian's best man. I'd like to start by congratulating the groom on his excellent taste in best men. He's really outdone himself this time. Brian and I have been best friends for over 20 years. We grew up living one street away from each other, and we met when my brother and I happened to ride by his house while recruiting for our bicycle gang. We immediately became friends and would begin to solidify what would eventually become a very tight-knit group of neighborhood friends that we still have to this day. Over the years, we've gotten into countless shenanigans together, ranging anywhere from spray painting his mom's pine trees, setting household objects on fire in my backyard, throwing crab apples, pine cones, snowballs, and moving cars, climbing and falling from trees, and breaking bones. Naturally, Brian was the first person to sign my cast. The same cast that I would eventually smash in the side of his head after an argument instigated by one of our friends. Brian and I were always rivals growing up, with both of us being athletic and incredibly competitive, especially with each other. Every game we played against each other was a game we were both always trying to win, whether it was Monopoly, Texas Hold'em, wiffle ball, or backyard football. But those experiences only strengthened our bond and friendship, creating a loyalty that has held true to no matter where our past in life have taken us. The same loyalty that I see now between him and Ashley. I had the pleasure of meeting Ashley at the same time that Brian did, when she started working with us at Romano Mercedes, the breeding ground of young love. The position she held was known to be stressful and put her in the path of many difficult people, clients and coworkers alike. But when I saw her not taking anyone's shit and giving it right back, I knew she'd be a perfect fit. It wasn't long after that Brian told me that he was interested in her and that he was going to pursue that interest. They hit it off immediately, and I could tell that this was more than just the average new relationship. I was surprised when he told me that she had a daughter and that made absolutely no difference whatsoever to him. And that's when I learned that she must be special. Especially considering she was also a Cowboys fan. Ashley, over the years I've come to know you as kind-hearted to some, easygoing, a fiercely loyal friend and partner, and an incredibly loving mother. It fills my heart to know that all the memories I've made with Brian will pale in comparison to those you two will make celebrating the rest of your lives together and raising your beautiful children. I wish you both all the health, wealth, and happiness in the world. Brian and Ashley, before I finish, I'd like you two to face each other. You're now looking to the eyes of the person who is statistically most likely to murder you. To the happy couple.
Bear with me. We are gathered here today to witness something spectacular. Of course, I'm talking about my debut as an officiant. As a wedding officiant, I'd like to thank my wife Janine for helping me with this speech. For those that don't know me, you ought to. My name is Jeff Kramer. Welcome to my wedding. I'm the officiant, so I'm running the show, so it's my wedding. This is my first time doing this, so with your help, I think I'm going to be excellent. Let's hope $20 in the internet makes this official. Looking back a year ago, Ashley and Brian asked me to marry them, and it was I thought it was a joke, but it's an honor for me because I was there the day that Ashley was born. Now I'm marrying her off to the world. I met Brian a couple years ago and realized that he was a great father to Ashley, or to Aaliyah, I'm sorry. To Aaliyah, and now Gabe. And now he has to put up with the biatch for the rest of his life. Good luck, man. I don't have really a lot to say, but now that I've kept Ashley up here long enough, let's get to the legal stuff, because she don't want to be here any longer than I do. Okay, Brian, you ready? Repeat after me. Do you take Ashley to be my awfully wedded wife? Did I say that right? Did you write that wrong?
She set you up.
Brian, I'm sorry. No, you don't have to say that. Do you take Ashley to be your awfully wedded wife?
I do.
You do. Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish and protect her?
I do.
Do you promise to take out the trash and pick up your dirty clothes?
I do.
Yeah.
Do you promise to love her even when she's being a biatch?
I do.
Good. Okay, Ashley. Do you take Brian to be your awfully wedded husband?
I do.
Do you promise to love, honor, cherish, and protect him?
I do.
Do you promise not to whine at him when he forgets to take out the trash and dirty clothes mounted up on the floor?
I do.
Do you promise to wait on him hand and foot during soccer and football games?
I do.
Very good. Now there are 3 rings of marriage: the engagement ring, the wedding ring, and the suffering. Let's keep that to a minimum. You have chosen these rings as a seal of your vows. The rings form a perfect circle without a beginning or an end, therefore a symbol of eternity. Are you both up for that?
Yeah.
Brian, knowing that you break that circle, you have myself, Jay, and Ryan to deal with. You don't want that. Ashley, if you break that circle, we're keeping Brian. We like him. Now, Brian, repeat after me. I, Brian, take you, Ashley.
I, Brian, take you, Ashley,
to have and to hold
to have and to hold
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
for richer or poor,
for richer or poor,
in joy and sorrow.
joy and sorrow.
And I promise to love you.
And I promise to love you.
And with this ring, I take you as my wife for as long as we both shall live.
And with this ring, I take you as my bride for the rest of my life.
Yeah, that'll work. Ashley. That'll work.
No.
Repeat after me, Ash. I, Ashley, take you, Brian,
I, Ashley, take you, Brian,
to have and to hold
to have and to hold,
in sickness and in health,
sickness and in health,
for richer or poor,
for richer or poor,
in joy and sorrow,
in joy and sorrow,
and promise to love you. And with this ring, I take you as my husband for as long as we both shall live.
and promise to love you. And with this ring, I take you as my husband as long as we both shall live.
Very good, very good. Okay, by the power invested in me by the state of New York and the internet, I pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride. That's pretty easy. All right, folks, for the first time, I'd like to introduce Mr. and Mrs. Brian Romeo. Whoa.
Mr. and Mrs. Brian and Ashley Romeo, everybody. Come on.
So when Ashley called me up a couple weeks ago and said, Dad, hey, would you like to give a roast at my wedding? I was kind of excited. So I wrote down a bunch of stuff. My wife said, no, she meant toast, not roast. We're not doing that. And I said, well, what about the time? She goes, no, absolutely not. I says, yeah, but I got a good one. No, absolutely not. You get a theme here, Brian? So get used to that word, because most of us can attest. After today, you're going to hear that word a lot, starting in about 4 hours. So I decided to scrap that idea. Instead, I decided to write a poem for my daughter. And I put a lot of thought into this title, and it's called My Daughter. It was a warm, sunny day in July when you took your first breath. From that first moment I held you, I knew I was going to love you to death. I wasn't going to kill you or nothing. It's just a figure of speech. A princess is what we called you during those sweet, tender young years. But little did we know what was coming. It was the teenager days we all feared. There were so many different stages, I could not list them all. But the goth and blue hair years really drove me up a frickin' wall. Then came the boyfriends. I was always the last to know. Everyone couldn't wait for the Dad Meets Boyfriend show. There was Biker Dan and Tattoo Sam, just to name a few. They would run their mouths trying to impress. but instead they all left feeling very blue. Then I got a call from my ex about the guy up next. She told me to try and be nice. One of my sons said he was actually fun, and he warned him, if I were you, I'd run for your life. Well, along came the day when I finally got to meet this young man. His name was Brian. He was such a delight. He had a car, a full-time job, and parents he liked. It was an unusual sight. He was respectful and honest, but what impressed me the most was something only a father could see. He loved my daughter with all his heart. In a lot of ways, he was just like me. They moved in together and gave it a go, and things were going really well. Till one day, my daughter called and said, we need our own place. This apartment living is like hell. In a very weak moment, I said, pack up your shit. You're all moving in with me. Yeah, bring the whole family and give me a year. We'll find you a house, you will see. And they did, all of them. It was Brian, it was Ashley, it was Aaliyah, it was the dog, it was the cat, it was the hair. It was the litter box, it was the hair everywhere. That's not part of the speech, but we made it through. So that brings us to this day when I must give you away. For a proud father, it isn't easy, but must be done. You're an amazing mother and daughter, Ashley. You'll always be second to none. So let's raise up our glasses. Let's give them a toast to my beautiful daughter and new son-in-law. Here's a lifetime of laughter and happiness. Enjoy the ride. We hope it's a ball. Cheers.
give up. You never